Well, hello. Welcome back to Soul Search Sunday with Johnny Tiger on November 12th, 2023. Before we do anything else, let me introduce you guys to our brand new sponsorship message.
Welcome to my parlor. oh, I mean, uh, Welcome, traveler, to the Hidden Corner Finds. I am Joanne, and this is my humble store. Pull up a chair, stay a while, make yourself at home. What? Oh, you want to know what I'm selling? Everything and anything. In short, I have a passion for. Ugh, why did it just bleep me? All I said was, I have a passion for picking, I said. Yeesh. You can't say anything on YouTube these days without this censorship. Anyways, as I was saying, I have a passion for picking. For me, there is nothing more satisfying than finding a unique and forgotten item and uniting it with someone who will really appreciate it for years to come. Whether it's a soapstone carving, an old book, or simply a mug to make you laugh, I try and find something for everyone. My goal is to make you a confident buyer. Older items often have a lifetime of stories to tell. I strive to describe the good as well as the bumps and bruises they've experienced along the way. It's important that the pictures reflect what you will receive. To that end, I always encourage questions and will do my best to respond as quick as possible. Appreciate you stopping by the store. If you can't find what you're looking for, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'm always looking for new ideas and will keep an eye out for your item in my travels.
Honey, what the happened to my action figure collection?
Whoops, gotta go. Bye.
Yeah, I know. That's a little bit primitive the way I'm doing this. But hey, when you're a blind guy who had no idea how to edit video and cut things and insert things or do cool animations, you got to be a bit creative. And that is how I came up with what I came up with, how to do this sponsorship message thing and still give you guys something pleasant to listen to rather than just having me going on and on about our awesome sponsor. Anyway, a link to the sponsor store will be included in the description of the video. So today, I'm going to talk a little bit about why enabler parents sometimes, actually not just sometimes, a lot of time, will find that rather than gratitude and love and appreciation, they end up getting hated by the children. I mean, when you really think about it, from the parents' point of view, like, hey, I gave you everything you wanted. I'm there every step of the way for you. I do everything for you. How come you end up hating me? It doesn't make sense, right? Well, maybe after today's video, it will make a little bit more sense. Um, just recently, there was a Chinese kid, well, not a kid, a young man who's wrote his parents a letter and basically told them that he no longer wants anything to do with them ever again. Don't bother contacting him. Don't call him. He's fine. He just doesn't want to see them. Now, when we hear about cases like that, we generally assume that, wow, the parents must have really messed up. They must have abused him and neglected him and put him through some really horrible stuff. Kind of like my parents, right? Like Johnny Tiger's parents. Okay, like if Johnny Tiger said he doesn't want to talk to his parents, maybe a lot of people would understand it. But in the case of this guy, this Chinese guy, None of that happened. His parents were there every step of the way, giving him everything he wanted, put him through the best school they could, working their butt off, buying him anything and everything he ever could uh, ask for, and gave him the best education, the best of everything. And they never neglected him. And yet, here he is in his mid 20s, and he hates them. Why is that? Because they enabled him, right? Because what they did was they enabled him. They were enablers. They gave him everything he wanted, and now rather than getting his gratitude and love, they're getting his hatred, and he despises them. So why is that? Why is that? Like a lot of parents uh, want to give their kids the best of everything, but in the end, they're getting the opposite effect of what they thought they were going to get. Why is that? Well, generally speaking, there's three reasons. Okay, I hope that after hearing what I have to tell you guys, parents take heed, take it to heart. That maybe you want to just like cut back on that enablism, ableism stuff, because you don't want your kids to turn around and hate you in the end. And maybe kids out there, like not just kids, but everyone who's ever had an enabling parents, and you feel that Johnny Tiger knows what he's talking about, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and spread the word. This channel has almost 2,000 videos. I've been doing daily videos since the beginning of the pandemic. I would really like it if we can grow this channel beyond uh, what it is right now. Thank you. Reason number one, when you enable your children, you run the risk of turning them into adult infants. No, I'm not talking about you are actually dressing them in diaper and then breastfeeding them, although that is kind of a horrifying image, right? I mean, how many of us get teased in school before when we were in, especially in kindergarten or elementary school? How many of us get teased by our friends? Oh, you what? You got to run home to mama and she got to breastfeed you, or what? Your mom dressed you in the morning? And that always leads to fist fights, right? Yeah. Okay. So you understand that the whole idea of not just an adult infant, being an infant when you are a teenager or a child, being teased by your friend is horrifying, right? And especially after you're adult, when you're married or in a relationship, how often do we hear one partner accusing the other or get mad at the other? What are you, a child? Grow up, man. What, like, don't be a baby. Those are fighting words, right? Those are fighting words. Like usually when someone uh, get in our face and say things like that, it's enough to trigger that very violent, want to instantly lash out and retaliate with the most hurtful thing you can say, right? So okay, that then now we establish no one, no one, unless some like with the exception of some uh, kinks, right? Like there are some people out there that sexual fantasy is being put in diaper and stuff like that, but we are not going to touch those. That's beyond the scope of this video. We can generally agree that the thought of being treated like or being called a baby when you're an adult or when you are no longer a baby when you're anything else, it's atrocious, it's obnoxious, it's very in very uh, angering, very infuriating, right? I couldn't find the right words there. Uh, so it's not a good feeling being treated like a baby and being laughed at by people. So When you are a parent and you give your kid everything they wanted, you drive them to school, you pick them up after school, you buy them the newest thing they want as soon as they want it, you go to functions with them, you never let them take the bus, you never even let them date anybody without your permission. Every one of their friends you have to know, you have to be up all in their business every step of the way because you're so scared that they're going to fall down and get hurt or get tricked by people. They're going to get scammed. They're going to fail. You're so scared that your kid's going to fail. You're not raising a successful adult. You're raising an adult baby. Okay? And this baby will hate you in the end. Why? Number one, we already established this baby is not a baby. This baby is not an adult, a young man, a middle-aged man, a young woman, a middle-aged woman. They don't like it when people around them treat them like they're adult baby. I'm not even just talking about you as their parent. I'm talking about when you treat them like this, their friends can see it, their partner can see it, their work, their co-workers, their boss, their supervisor, everybody can see it. So you're not doing this uh, to make them look good. You end up making them look really, really bad, and you're giving other people ammunition. And other people can use that against them. The moment someone wants to hurt their feeling, someone's going to point out, "Oh yeah, did your mom drive you to work? Did your mom get you the job? When you go home, does your mom do your homework for you?" Someone's going to point that out. And what can they say? Because you do. You are enabling them. How does it make them feel when they have to, when someone asks, "Hey, how much did you pay for this leather jacket? It's a really nice jacket." And then your kid said, "I don't know. My mom bought it for me." It doesn't make them feel good. It makes them ashamed of themselves. And when people are ashamed, they get angry. They get angry at the people that are directly responsible for them being ashamed. And who is that person? You, the enabling parent. Right? So that is number one. Why creating an adult infant will cause your children, your child, to hate you. Secondly, and we're still on our third point, but secondly, why is it that creating an adult infant, adult baby, causes your children to hate you? Because you are you're setting them up to get hurt all the time. Okay? When they're at home, they get everything. They will get pampered, they get loved, they get treated like they're the best in the world. But you know it, I know it, they're not the best in the world. They go out into the real world, no one is going to be there to change their diaper. No one is going to be there to hold their hand, tell them when to get on the bus, when to get off the bus. Make sure you dress warm, make sure you uh, do this and do that. No one's going to be there for them. So by doing that for them at home, you create a situation where they don't know how to do it for themselves. They don't know how to look for help. When they don't get it, they feel hurt. They feel scared. They feel lost. When people feel hurt and scared and lost, they get mad and they get angry at the people that directly responsible for them to end up in this predicament. Who is that person? You, the enabling parent. Okay, so by setting up your kids, you are setting yourself up for being blamed for them ending up lost, betrayed, used, hurt, angry. Lastly, and we are still on the adult infant, okay, this is still point number one, but lastly, by enabling them, you are setting yourself up for failure. Let's look at this equation. Let's look at what things actually look like. When your kids are very small, they want very little. Yeah, I'm not talking about medical bills or stuff like that. I'm talking about things they actually want. They want very little. They don't eat a lot. they they don't need a lot of stuff. They need toys. They want your attention. And at that time, you're young, you're energetic, you got a lot to give. So you enable them, you give, you give, you give. And then you look at what's going to happen. This child grows up. As they grow bigger, their desire, their need, their wants get bigger. When they're a teenager, they eat a lot more. They want better food. They want to go out to different places. They want PlayStation. They want Xbox. So you, now that you're middle age, you're getting older, but you're still okay. You're still strong enough. And but so you do your best to try to keep up with their demands. You drive them to school. Before, when they were little, it's just driving them to school and driving them to friends' places. Now it's driving them to school, driving them to soccer, driving them to baseball, driving them to space basketball, drive them to parties, pick them up after parties, drive them to camping, go camping with them. Yeah, because you are that enabling parent. You are doing your best to be there for them every step of the way. Yeah, get them that Xbox, get them that PS5 or whatever, get them the newest computer game, video game, the newest gadget, newest iPhone. You work so hard, everything you get from working, you put towards them, you give them, you're enabling them. Now they're in their 20s, they're in their 25. Now it's no longer PlayStation. Now it's no longer Xbox. They want that new uh, BMW. Now they want the apartment of their own. But what's happening? Their needs just keep going up and up and up. Now they're adults. They want more. They want to travel the world. They want to go to Europe. Uh, they, and now you're getting old. You're slowing down. You don't have that much to give anymore. Eventually, eventually, you're going to run to a situation where you have to say no. But you can't. The moment you say no, your kid is going to flip out on you because you have built them up to expect you to say yes. You have given them this expectation that you were Superman, that you were Harry Potter with a magic wand, you were Santa, you were, you were everything. Everything they wanted, you could give. That's the message you were sending for the past 20 years. Now suddenly you want to say no? Yeah, they are not going to be able to deal with that. So rather than feeling gratitude for what you have done before. The first time, the second time, as soon as you start slipping up, as soon as you're no longer able to fulfill what they need you to do, they are going to be confused and angry and they're going to hate you because now you're letting them down. Why didn't you just let them down before? Why did you build that false expectation for them? Why did you uh, set them up for this? Right? Yeah, I'm going to use my ex-girlfriend as an example, because my ex-girlfriend had that kind of parents. Like, my ex-girlfriend had a father that gave her own house when she was in her 30s. In her 30s, she didn't have to pay a single dime. He just bought a house, signed it over to her, and she let her live on her own. But everything she wanted, like he wouldn't let her take the bus. He would drive her everywhere she wanted to go, including when she was going to work. Her dad, who was like in his 70s, would drive her to work, pick her up after work, uh, sometimes wait out there for while she's working, or wait out there while she's at a party. That's how much he enabled her. As a result, the moment that he started slowing down when old age caught up to him, she started getting resentful because now she didn't know. Like, what do you mean I have to find my own way to go to this party? Why didn't you let me do it myself before? Now I don't know how to do it. Now I don't know who to call. Because you told me I can depend on you all these years. Now you want to tell me no? How dare you? So yeah, creating an adult baby, adult infant is very, very detrimental to your relationship with your child. Number two, the second reason why by enabling your child, you will cause him or her to hate you in the end is you create a feeling of being in jail. And nobody likes that. Right? A lot of people can say all they want about how people who go to jail, they get reformed, they get a better life, and they come out, but nobody ever loved the people who put them in jail. Okay, you can ask, you can go look at research, you can go talk to ex-con yourself if you want. Nobody ever say, "Oh my God, I am so thankful for the judge who put me in jail," or I love the warden when I was in jail. No, because nobody likes to be in jail. Nobody likes to be in prison. Parents, you love your kids, but sometimes you make a cage out of that love. You use that love like it's a jailhouse, like it's a prison. You want to be all up in your kids' business. You want to be the person who makes decisions for them because you are supposed to know better. You don't want them to get hurt. But in the end, you create a situation where they feel squeezed. They feel smothered by your love. They feel like they're in jail. Okay? Again, going back to my ex-girlfriend. My ex-girlfriend, all her finance were controlled by her parents. Yes, she had really rich parents. And yes, anytime she wanted anything, all she had to do was open her mouth, including wanting to go to Europe, wanting to go travel, wanting to buy a brand new saxophone or a brand new instrument that cost like $10,000, $20,000. All she had to do was open her mouth. Some people, okay, myself included, sometimes I felt envious. I wish I had parents like that. But if you look at the dark side of that, she never had any freedom. She, okay, let's put it bluntly, okay? Some of you are going to get a good laugh out of this, but I swear this is true. She couldn't even buy a vibrator, right? Because how are you going to say this? Dad, I need $50 because I need a vibrator. Yeah, no, she couldn't even stay out. Like when we were dating, she couldn't even stay out late unless her parents told her it was okay. And this is 30 years old woman we are talking about, not 18, not 17. Okay, when we were going out, uh, I had to I have to talk to her dad. I have to let her dad know where I was taking her and all that stuff. And and it's like when we were dating, especially in the earlier days, I felt like I was more dating her parents than dating her. Because every time I went over to her place, her parents were up in our business every step of the way. Like if we were in the bedroom talking, listening to music, her parents would come over to her house and watch TV or vacuum the house, and like they would be all up in our business. So that created a lot of resentment uh, in her mind because she felt that they did not trust her, they did not give her her freedom. She believed that uh, as an adult, she should have her own judgment. If she made mistake, then that's her right to make a mistake, and she's right, right? Um, a lot of parents get this idea that, well, it doesn't matter how old you are, you're still my baby. No, no, it's nice for you to think that way, but an adult is an adult is an adult. An adult is not a baby. An adult should not be treated like a baby. An adult need freedom, need the room to spread their wings and fly and fall and trip and learn. Right? If you put them in a cage, in an ivory tower, in a jail, that's created by your love for them, they're not going to thank you for it. That resentment is just going to build and build and build and build until they explode all up in your face one day, tell you to leave them the F alone. Last but not least, the reason why enabling your children will cause them to hate you is the situation where unfair, there's unfair expectation. What is the unfair expectation about? Let's be honest. Most parents who are enablers don't do it and expect nothing back. Okay? Most parents that are enablers do it all the while saying things like, well, I'm doing this for you so you can do it for me later. When I get old, you're going to do it for me. That is not a fair expectation. Why? Because me as a child, not me as Johnny Tiger, just a royal me. Like, no, I did not sign the dotted line. I did not ask to be brought into this world. I don't feel that it's fair for you to create this contract for me that you do for me and then I do for you because I didn't agree to it. It's like my father, even to this day, would tell everybody that me and my brothers and sisters, we owe him everything because he sacrificed so much bringing us to Canada. But I always say that's BS because I did not ask you to bring me to Canada. That you made up you made up your mind all on your own. So don't try to put that over on me. Yes, okay, it benefited me. Thank you. But still, I did not sign that contract. That wasn't my idea. So as parents, when you enable your kids, you enable them, you give them, you give, you give all the while it's like your kid is building up a credit card debt. It's like your kid is owing a loan shark, and it's a lot of pressure on the child's mind. It's a lot of pressure on your offspring because now they feel guilty when they know you expect them to pay you back. So on the one hand, they don't want this. On the other hand, they feel they have to because that's what you expect. Let me tell you guys something. When people struggle with uh, repayment, debt management, and they do it under enough pressure, they will turn around and hate the person that put them in that situation in the first place. Okay? Very obvious example. No one ever say I'm so thankful for my credit card company because they allow me to uh, borrow $10,000 from them, even though now I have to pay it off and now I have to work so hard. Yeah, I love my credit card company. I'm so thankful for them. Nobody ever say that, right? Everyone, when it's time to pay the credit card, everyone is cranky and hate it. They want to take that card and flush it down the toilet, and they wish they never heard of that credit card. Right? That's the truth about debt management. That's the truth about gratitude. When you have to be forced into that, when you are forced into that corner where you have to repay the debt, you hate it. You're not going to appreciate. You're not going to feel gratitude. You're going to hate it. Parents, it's the same thing. If by enabling your kids, you start building up this, okay, everything I do for you now, you owe me, you owe me, you owe me. One day, I don't know when, but one day, prepare yourself. One day I'm going to tell you it's time to pay me back. Your kids will hate you because you're like that loan shark that you're making them nervous. You're giving them a lot of pressure, right? Uh, Me and my siblings, we've been dealing with this our whole life. Most of us dealing with our whole life because my father, ever since we were very little, been throwing this in our face every step of the way. I'm going to put you through school, and then you're going to find a good job, and then you're going to give me money. I'm going to do this for you, and later you're going to do this for me, and so on and so on and so on. So we got this uh, every step of the way, and you know what? None of us want to deal with that. None of us say, "You're right, Dad. Yeah, thank you so much for bringing us up, and now we'll take care of you." No, the hell is that? No, uh, no one, no one likes that. So if you start building up that unfair expectation, thinking that your kid's going to be so thankful one day they'll pay you back, I'm afraid you will be disappointed. So today we been talking about why enabling your kids may cause them to hate you. I'm not a parent. I probably will never be a parent. I was never a parent, even though, I mean, I'm parent to my two kitty cats, but you know it, I know it. That's not the same. Um, but I'm here to tell you, enabling your kids is just a really bad way. You're setting your kids up to fail. You're setting your relationship with your kid up to fail. And it's all because, one, you might be creating an adult baby who can't survive on their own and who can't take no for an answer. Number two, um, you are going to make them feel like they're in jail. You're denying your kids the freedom they deserve. Number three, your unfair expectation will drive them to insanity with all that pressure you're building up in them. So, anyway, I hope that this has been helpful. I hope this will be helpful for some parents out there. And I hope that some of you who have had enabling parents resonate with what I say today, and hopefully this will bring you some ease of mind that at least on some level people know what you have gone through. Thank you so much for checking out today's video, and we'll be back again tomorrow for the Music Monday.